You send me the URL, what we know, so I can monitor from it.
Good morning.
Morning.
Dr. Zaidi, good morning.
Morning. You.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes,
Yeah, boleh
I can hear you clearly.
Right, okay.
All right. We're waiting for CEO to come in shortly. He's still on the phone.
Okay.
Okay. Dr. Ayla, you okay?
Where is the toilet? Oh. Normally, how many participants that joined us in the previous webinar?
It's like dalam 200.
Oh, okay. All of them were that one. Participants that joined us. Government servant kah? Tidak? Or just a student?
The State Department, yes, the government servant, the SES officers, and some also the dual SIM pun officers juga lah. We also extend the invitation to them.
How about the public?
The public?
No public.
No public. Mostly the SES officer lah, Dr. Zaidi.
Oh, okay. I thought that we extend to the public.
But if the public wanted to see the session, they can, because after this session, this session will be recorded and we will post it in our website, so it is accessible by the public juga lah.
Yeah, alright, okay. So our mode of presentation, the language is mixed. Bahasa Sarawak, English, bahasa Malaysia, Jakut Iban.
Jakut Iban ya. Boleh.
Semua meet ya.
Dr. Zaid. Okay. Kami cek Dr. Ayla lah.
No, it can't be.
Like Zoom, your speaker.
Sorry, awful.
So you should actually join from here.
Okay, we go from the...
You need to switch off the audio, the mic, and the
purchase here. Check it out.
Another 3 minutes. The presenter seems like very cool. The moderator macam nervous macam.
Terbalik.
So that one, start the session. Give that one. Give the green light. Is it Dr. Anya?
Tapi sa pocket mo ba tayo?
We're waiting for CEO. After this, once he come in, then we'll start the session.
Okay, CEO will give the opening remarks.
Yes, correct.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
My view is okay. Shut up, sir.
You have flip. Oh, okay. All right. We just that one display here the flip lah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Can you check the early when we can have a Smart 300 part 2 meeting in the committee? You allocate the whole day. Day Khamis apa?
Okay. Rabu the activity.
Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi. Baik, alhamdulillah.
Apa teh? Sehat?
Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah.
Sudah buka SMA ya, Dok?
Buka partly ya. Only we have alternate days for our staff.
Okay.
Right? But the head of units have to come to the office lah. Including GM lah.
Oh, yes, the GM should be in the office. Okay. Yeah, I'm waiting for instruction we are live. Thanks. So, do we go now? Okay, so let's start. So, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Selamat pagi, good morning, and salam Sarawak Ibu Pertiwiku. It is a great pleasure, Dr. Zaidi and Dr. Alia. Nice to see both of you. And I think let's welcome everybody back to the SCS Executive Webinar. And I think this is an excellent start, Dr. Zaidi, Dr. Alia. We have, if I recall correctly, registered participants. This is about 330 people registered on this call. We've seen about 180 appearing now, so probably most of them could be sharing. So it's a big group, and I think it's a good start for 2021. And I was reflecting last night, Dr. Zaidi, on the topic, and I'm biased in the sense that I just wrote a small article around digital, the rethinking of leadership in a digital era. Then I said, let me not preempt Dr. Zaidi. Let him actually say a lot more. Then I will write the paper into conclusion. So there's a lot more to learn. And also on behalf of Datuk Sebaria Putih, Dr. Zaidi, Dr. Alia, her apologies. She is tied up in a meeting somewhere. And her apologies. And I think she would have loved to actually sit through. And thanks, Dr. Zaidi. This is at the request of many of the HOD in SES to actually do this topic. So we are lucky to have Dr. Zaidi with us, and of course Dr. Alia to moderate this for the second time. Dr. Alia, thank you very much. We feel so honored that you are the returning moderator for us. So it's not my moment to speak. I think I would actually pass it on to Dr. Aila to take us through for the rest of the morning. Back to you, Dr. Aila.
Thank you very much, Tuan Haji. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh to everybody, all the participants, especially for being here, available here on Zoom, on this webinar this morning, and for being patiently waiting for us for the session. And welcome, for the beginning, welcome to our Executive Talk webinar brought to you by Leadership Institute of Sarawak Civil Service. I'm Dr. Aila Latif, your moderator for today's discussion, and as always, as Dr. Haji said just now, it's always my honor, an honor for me to host this sharing session. As we know that this session is actually conducted as part of internal learning initiatives and knowledge sharing to provide continuous improvement to all the civil service sector. And we see this as an online platform to officially provide and share insights from our invited distinguished speaker. So here we are today to discuss about the Sarawak digital transformation and its relevance to Sarawak civil service. And on behalf of the webinar organizer, I would like to express our gratitude to all Datuk-Datuk, department head, permanent secretary, all the CEOs, honorable speakers, and also the participants. With nearly 200 participants currently recorded, we are making this webinar actually across Sarawak a truly statewide online sharing. Okay, congratulations to everyone. And to begin with, without further ado, I would like to invite our speaker, this distinguished speaker, to start with the brief overview of what digital transformation is, and how it can be related much to us as a civil service sector, as well as an individual as part of the key players in the ecosystem. Over to you, Dr. Zaidi.
Yeah, okay. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, Dr. Aila, and also Tuan Haji, for inviting me into this webinar. It's a great honor as part of our journey into a developed state and to become a most successful state in Malaysia in 2030. Okay, as you know, this digital transformation has been ongoing agenda globally for years now. I think it started in 2015 when they started to speak on these, talk on these digital transformations. It's not just about the electronic government anymore. But recently, with the pandemic, actually has accelerated the process in more ways than one. The COVID-19 actually speed up this digital transformation. People have doubt previously before the pandemic whether we can or whether we will move into this digital transformation. But as you can see now, we don't have any choice. We don't have any choices. We have to move on. And the only way to move on is using a digital technology and embark into digital transformation. Here I am now discuss about these digital transformations. Okay. So the new rules and policy now constantly laid down to preempt and respond to the crisis. Like I said, for Sarawak, it has no difference, but it's quite we preempt this with our leadership. Yang Amat Berhormat the Petinggi, our Chief Minister, have started this digital transformation in 2017. At that time, people have doubt why we move into digital economy or digital transformation. So, as a backdrop, let's ponder on the aspiration of our Chief Minister for a moment. By 2030 is what it said, Sarawak will be a developed state with a thriving economy driven by data and innovation, where everyone enjoys economic prosperity, social inclusivity, and a sustainable environment. 4 years ago, in 2018, right, or 17, Yang Amat Berhormat Datuk Petinggi Chief Minister had declared Estonia will be a good model for Sarawak to further develop its multimedia and communication infrastructure. Let me see here, all right, in the Enter Estonia, all right, it says that develop a public digital architecture that focus on developing IT as a general purpose social economic skill to be shared by as many citizens as possible. This is what we are doing now. And YAB went to say that the Estonia model offers a workable solution for Sarawak to provide fast internet speed and penetration crucial for the development of a digital economy. That's why in 2017, we have drawn up the Digital Economy 2018-2022 agenda. All right. As you can see in on the screen, Sarawak Multimedia Authority is a regulatory body established pursuant to Section 3 of Sarawak Multimedia Authority Ordinance 2017, with the primary objective to spearhead, oversee, and facilitate the development and the implementation of the communication, multimedia, and the state digital economy initiative, right? So we have this 47 strategic action in our digital economy transformation. We have 29 strategic action cover 8 economic sectors, and 18 strategic action to cover 7 enablers. All right. As you can see there, we have agriculture, we have a manufacturing 4.0, we have a tourism, smart city, digital health, e-commerce, digital government, and social. All right. So in our digital infrastructure, of course, we have a communication tower. We have to have a fiber optic. We have a VSAT, very small aperture terminal. We have SIOC, State Integrated Operation Center, Smart City, and also data center. But this one is just enablers, all right? And we also have this digital literacy that focuses on digital skill and talent development, research and development, innovation and entrepreneurship, digital and data, cybersecurity, and digital, of course, digital inclusivity. Okay. Next. On 6th of May 2020, Yang Amat Berhormat Ketua Menteri established the Sarawak Economic Action Council, SEAC, right, to formulate the state government post-COVID-19 exit economic strategy 2030. As shown, the 8 economic sector will be the primary growth engine. There are, as you can see on the screen, commercial agriculture and commodities, concentrating on smart precision farming. We also have manufacturing transforming to industry 4.0. Forestry, we will focus on reforestation. Tourism, with effort to increase visitor economy. Mining and exploration towards a downstream value chain. Renewable energy and the potential of hydrogen, biomass, and solar energy. Services on this access to affordable and quality services for the people. In order to achieve the high income and advanced state by 2030, Sarawak will need to achieve an economic growth of 8% annually to double the size of our economy from 133 billion in 2018 to 282 billion by 2030. This is the data center, what we call it the evolution of digital transformation from in the late 1990s, all right? The digital product, just a music and entertainment, okay? Infrastructure, of course, there was a demand and supply, right? Not really into these basic utilities for the people. And it moved to, in 2000, right? They have this new strategy to get the e-commerce on this web to sell the retail, electronics, the goods, and also they create efficiency through web strategy. For example, the e-government, all right? But in 2010 and above, they start on these mobile revolutions. I can call it mobile revolution when the mobile capacity and capability increase. They can store more than 1 gig or more than last time is if you have a phone with a 1 gig memory, you have to spend more than 2,000-3,000 ringgit. Now you can have a 512 gig, all right, or more than that, all right, to store your data. And furthermore, you can use the storage or power of this mobile to have this data analytic in your phones. So what we call here is a hyper digitization. Everything people will start, right, to see that this digital transformation, right, be it in social, be it in their daily life. What we want to do in Sarawak is to create a new civilization of these people, right? So we want to get the people to use digital technology to think what the best for them, right? To increase the skill, to increase their knowledge, and furthermore, and that actually can give them a good quality of life. Okay, for our role here, right? The state government through SMA has been doing the digital transformation agenda, all right, since 2018, right? The pillar that you can see on the screen is the digital infrastructure, digital government, digital literacy, and inclusivity. In 2021, we have will be implementing our digital infrastructure in aggressive mode. Thanks. Okay. As we all know very well, the respective movement control MCO has caused unprecedented increase in broadband usage, mobile or fixed, for the people to work, inform, and be educated. Right. In Sarawak context, data consumption has increased from 2 terabytes pre-COVID to 8 terabytes at the height of the pandemic. While this unprecedented nature of disruption has exposed the internet connectivity gaps, especially to those living in underserved areas of Sarawak, the state has in fact begun to address these issues since 2018. Okay. That is the agenda to provide affordable, high-speed internet access for the masses through carrier-independent backhaul and backbone data transmission services. Right? What we want to have here is the affordable internet connectivity, and we have launched the first 300 telecommunication tower without relying on the federal allocations. So state have started the project to implement 300 communication tower, focuses on the rural areas and remote areas. Okay, we have a smart first 300 communication tower. The SMART stands for Sarawak Multimedia Authority Rural Telecommunications. Basically, this plan is made of 4 categories: mobile broadband, satellite broadband, high-speed broadband, and also fixed wireless access broadband. To date, more than 250 towers have been completed. All right. And also for the next 300 towers, we have done our desktop planning. The fulfillment of the services will be made soon. The evaluation is still ongoing. The tender evaluation is still ongoing. But we have shown our new what we call is approach to get the major service provider hooked to our tower. We have in October 2020, SMA had commissioned the first smart telecommunication tower at Luban Ulu, Betung, and the first multi-operator core network tower in Malaysia. Multi-operator core network means that the service provider can use the antenna and also other base station, but it will independently connect to their core network to get the people connected. Okay, and then the rest of the towers in Sarawak will be using the same MOCN strategy. Okay, we are the first one that using the MOCN to get all the operators offer the service at the respective tower. At the national level, a series of new telecommunication infrastructure projects is being put together under the SMART, and also from Malaysian Communication and Multimedia Commission, MCMC, we have a national digital network plan, what we call it Jendela. Okay. The Jendela by MCMC had planned a new 636 new sites, made up of 38.3 of total 1,661 sites allocated nationally. Okay, the request of proposal will be soon closed on 31st March. All right. Upon completion of these state 600 towers and with additional 636 Jendela, a total of estimated more than 1,200 towers will be in operations, plus the current about 2,000, more than 2,000 that includes the commercial and also the USP towers. And then we hope that we can cover almost near to 98% of populated areas in Sarawak. When we touch on the fiber optic, right, we have covered almost more than 10,000 kilometers state area with a fiber optics. And then we have these programs planned to have this coastal road fiberization together with this Pan-Borneo highway fiber optic networks. Okay. And then this coastal road and also the Pan-Borneo will be the backbone together with the SEB OPGW fiber that will be act as our backbones. Apart from that, we also upgrade our internet connectivity in several our national park. We have will be implemented the internet connectivity in Tanjung Dato', Bako National Park, Kuba, and also Lambe, Matang Wildlife Center, Nia, Similajau, and Gunung Gading National Park. And not forgetting Mulu. Mulu already launched and already up. The service already up with 4G recently. To address the critical needs for rural connectivity, we also have our Saluran 200. Okay, Saluran is the connecting the rural to national that we have will be implemented 200 sites of the VSAT by early February in 2021. Okay, and then this interim measure will quickly address the digital gap in dynamic fashion, and also VSAT will be repositioned to other remote areas once existing gap is plugged in. All right, meaning to say that 300 that we have, while waiting for the services to be installed, we will have the VSAT. We have the VSAT to cater the needs of the people at the respective area. Back. Okay. Another one is our another implementation in our digital infrastructure is fixed wireless access. The first I can say that we have extend this fixed wireless asset almost to 150 populated areas, right? And then this will be implemented soon. Our first proof of concept is in Sabau Bintulu, whereby to get the high-speed internet, we have to lay fiber optics, all right? Then we have this 130 kilometer of fiber optics to serve 6,000 population. This is our showcase, all right? And then to get the rural area connected. This will be implemented, expand actually, soon with 150 new sites. And then it will combine with this fixed wireless access, FWA, and hopefully by in 6 months time, we will able to connect 45,000 homes in various areas that we will cover. Next. Right. For the urban digital transformation, right, particularly on the smart city, we have implemented the smart traffic light. What we want to have in the smart traffic light is to get or to improve a green wave traffic light synchronization. That we have 142, if not mistaken, the traffic light connected the whole Kuching, Padawan, we have Kota Samarahan, and then this traffic light will be linked to our big data platform that calculate the travel times and also to create what I just mentioned just now, the green wave traffic light synchronization. That means you don't have to wait for a longer time to get the green light, right? So we partner with Waze, right, to get the public crowdsourcing, right, to see, and then as a part of our data point, and to get these few data points, and we install the vehicle counter, we install CCTV to capture the movement of the car and then fit into our algorithm, and we hope that by 2021 we're able to reduce the traveling time by more than 15%, right? This a new approach of giving a quality life, right, will be also implemented in Miri, Cebu, and Bintulu in the next this year, next year, or until 2025. Okay. This is what we have in our smart traffic light. Okay, the council, right, will be connected to SCAT. This is a platform, right, and then this traffic light junction will be equipped with the CCTV and also the sensor to locate the or to count the number of cars in the city. All right. Next. Apart from that, we also implement the CCTV or enhance the security system at the Samajaya Industrial Park. All right. This is a part of our kind of like a POC to use the RFID and then to see the efficacy of the CCTV smart security, face recognition, and also and how to limit the people in the respective areas. Next. Okay. Another project that SMA is doing currently, we have designed placed the more than 800 CCTVs, all right, in Kuching, Kota Semerahan, and also in Padawan areas. All right. In Kuching, of course, we have MBKS, DBKU. Okay, this will be linked up to our state integrated operation center. Right? We have one center that monitor the CCTV network, and this center will equip with this face recognition. We equip the crowd counting, and also the objective of this CCTV is to create the secured or safety environment for our people. Okay, this is our SIOC, right? The operation center is to control or to monitor the situation in 24/7 in real time, all right? And then this SIOC, as I said, will be equipped with a face recognition, of course, equipped with the artificial intelligence. We have designed this SIOC to store more than petabyte, right? It's a very huge storage that stored the streams, videos from these 800 CCTV, and of course the current CCTV that installed at the respective council also to be linked to our SIOC. And of course, as you know, we have implemented Sarawak Pay, and then the statistic that shown here, we have near to 500,000 registered user with merchant more than 65,000 or 88,634, and this Sarawak Pay have recorded the number of transactions more than 14 million now, with the amount of the transaction more than 800 million transacted in Sarawak Pay. The Sarawak Pay actually is the platform whereby the other apps or the other platform can connect to our cashless payment. For example, here we have this license plate recognition parking, Park and Go or Pay and Go, that have implemented in at Plaza Merdeka and also City One, and it will grow, right, to other parking areas. All right, you don't have to get the ticket and go to the counter or even go to the kiosk to pay your parking. You just drive in, the plate recognition module, we capture your plate, and then you just scan the QR code and pay using your plate number. And then the system will integrate with our Sarawak Pay. It's a part of the expansion of the Sarawak Pay usage. All right. For the agriculture, the digital agriculture marketplace has digitized more rural farmers to promote and sell their products. Okay, we have promoting this one of the player to expand the services to the rural area, right? Get more rural farmers to be on board, and they will grow these farmers, or they will extend the coverage of these people to get more client or customer, right? A part of it is to get them sustainable income, and also the public will happy to consume this fresh veggie and also fresh other agriculture product. Okay, for the digital government, the federal had launched the national ID, but Sarawak had launched our own Sarawak ID, I think in 2018. We have launched our Sarawak ID, whereby these people have to register only single time. Okay, and then this ID, right? This ID can be used to log in to other system that offered by state government, right? And then now we embark into a new module, what we call this eKYC, electronic know your customer. All right, it's just like other platform whereby you can scan your face and then scan your my card to get verified, and then you just use this ID for other transactions, right? So we are looking at the expansion of this Sarawak ID into what we call a digital signature, and also to provide the blockchain to verify all the processes and the IDs for people to verify the user, to verify the processes, so that the people do not have to go to the counter and verify their service or their request. All right, so it can offer a secure transaction between the people and the government. In the big data plus the open data and also data sharing, part of the implementation by the sectors had completed, right? But we have started this data sharing, right, in 2017. In 2017, we have launched our open data platform, right, whereby the agency can share non-sensitive data to the public, and the public actually can use the data to develop their application and to give value to this data, and of course to produce this information to the other apps or the other people that need this data. Okay, so the next economy, what we call is data economy. Data economy based on this technology, and also based on the knowledge. All right, and the knowledge of relating the data between other sources, between multiple sources, that you can relate the data, and of course can give value to this data, and eventually you can monetize the data. Okay. So we have done our survey, right? The survey that we had made in Kuching, right, have listed the 15 smart city project, all right. Of course, the first one is digital infra, is connectivity, data center or cloud. And now people using cloud. People will not bring their thumb drive anywhere now. If they just log in, as long as they have this internet connectivity, they can log into the cloud and download or upload their file to the cloud and can use it in other or in their assignment. Okay. The third one that we can foresee is a smart city digital platform, whereby, of course, a smart city, you have this cashless payment, we have traffic management, we have the CCTV, and many more implementation of initiative can be implemented in this in smart city digital platform. And we of course we are into, actually we had embarked into digital communication platform that provided by Tali Hikmat, all right, State Tali Hikmat or Sarawak Tali Hikmat, whereby people can complain through this platform, and then the agency have to address the complaint or issue or the problem posted by the rakyat. Okay, and then part of it, of course, is a government. In ACAC, okay, we are focusing on this service to the rakyat, right? Seamless service to the rakyat. Seamless means that people can subscribe our service without much hassle, or they can get the feedback from the government, right, in real time. So this is what we are focusing on this SCAC, all right, in this post-COVID. And then the other initiative project that we are heading into is this solid waste management, and also to have this municipal management, so that people can really feel what is a digital transformation is all about. Okay, next. Okay, to get people to know about the digital transformation, we also have this program, what we call is digital inclusivity and also literacy. Right. Okay. We have conducted more than 300 programs. We've involved more than 50,000 participants. This is what SMA was doing. All right. And we also provided the Wi-Fi to 32 resource center, rural libraries. And of course, without this computer or without this Wi-Fi internet, the computer cannot fully utilize. So we provide the personal computer to 32 libraries and other apparatus like library in a box, smart TV, projector, and also tablet for the community resource center. Next. So this is our ongoing project, a digital community center. We partnered with Pustaka, right? That to get more people or kids, especially the kids, involved in our digital transformation. Like Estonia, when they first started their digital program, they focus on these kids, the school kids. Okay, provide the computer to them, let them play, right? And then of course they will build their interest, and of course when the times come, they have to choose the subjects. Of course, when you develop the interest, they will become a good programmer, engineers, and also we able to increase our STEM statistics. So this is our partners in our digital innovation hubs. Of course, now we have other establishment, Sarawak Digital Economy Corporation, that oversee and manage this digital village ecosystem. Right. This is what we have done. The programs we have last time we had this program pre-accelerator bootcamp with Tegas and other upskilling programs. Next. Okay, and we also have this integrated system for Jabatan Wanita and Keluarga Sarawak. Okay, we have their e-marketplace. They call it e-preneurs, and we also have the e-communities. Actually, these programs with Wanita is a part of our Sarawak system, where this system also we have a social development information and management system. Of course, if you are in our journey, right, to become a developed state, people must live in a harmonious way. Okay, people with less social problem actually is the key that drive this our journey, right? For that, we invest into this SDIM, all right, social development, and we partner with Ministry of Women to have to develop the more comprehensive system, what we call the Sarawak. Okay. All right. That's our presentation from SME. We hope that by having I can call it a brief explanation or brief introduction of what SME is doing, we hope that you have the understanding that state government really serious in transforming the people into digital savvy, of course, to achieve our developed status state in Malaysia by 2030, and hopefully by 2030 we are the champion. Okay, for that I end my presentation with Jaga Sarawak into Sarawak. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Zaidi. the General Manager of Sarawak Multimedia Authority, SMA, we are thankful that we have the right man here to give and share his insights on the agenda of digital transformation that we are currently working towards. And Dr. Zaidi, while waiting for the questions from our participants just now, I read that there's one project that you led recently during the early days of the COVID-19 pandemic. There's a project so-called the digital wristband surveillance system, which is the first in Malaysia. Maybe I think it would be interesting for us to know a bit on that success story.
Okay, digital wristband actually, of course, during the early days of pandemic, we have thinking this how to control this PUS or PUI. All right, PUS is a person under investigation or patient under investigation or person under surveillance. All right, so we have read a lot of other countries was doing at the time. They have using the smart battery operated, but of course it's very costly, right? In other country they use this medical wristband, all right? Just a very simple to indicate that this person is under surveillance or under investigation. And we have come up, of course, with our provider, discuss with our provider. We just took 3 days to implement this system, right? Of course, 3 days mean that we have to spend more than 18 hours, sit down and develop it. By the 4th day, we did implement it, and then we come up with this wristband with the QR code. The QR code is not that unique, but to enable people to quickly access the website and log in their locations, right? And now we have the unique QR wristband, right? Whereby it attached to the person that we serve the notice, right? And then during that time, Alhamdulillah, of course, new technology, people we see with some good comments, some bad comments, but we still implement it, right? That we feel that this is the right way of doing things, all right? So now, at that time, people is not really have this understanding that the wristband that we ask the PUI or PUS wear is really indicate a serious thing. But now, people with this QR wristband or medical wristband, really indicate it will cause a serious implication. But if now if you wear this wristband, all right, medical wristband, and you walk around the city and people will curse you and get police to arrest you. That is our journey into this digital wristband, and now it has a unique QR wristband that attached to this person names and also IC.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Zaidi, for the story, which is quite inspiring for us to work harder for inventing more inventions. That is something that maybe we need all these kind of innovation to fulfill what is available in the market might be not enough for us, and we may have to be part of the changes, being part of the transformation itself, especially in contributing the ideas and also looking at the how our roles can be maximized or optimized. Okay, there is one question actually. Looking at the number of initiatives that been planned, and we are going towards the smart city project and aspiration. How actually we work or overcome the data silo, and how we anticipate the feedback loops that can be, it's kind of challenge for us that we should overcome it.
Yes. Okay, thank you, Dr. Adila. All right. To overcome the data silos, all right. That's why when we embark into this, what we call is a new journey into a big data, we have to share the data to the public, right? It's just like you are using a Facebook. Yeah, you don't like people, people will don't like you, right? So we have to share the data to the public first, all right? But to get the agency to share the data, of course, we have to train them. More granularities mean more quality or high quality data, right? Therefore, to get the system connected, all right, together and produce a good quality of data, we embark into this using API, application programming interface, whereby we have this policy. All the developer or system to be developed, they must provide the API, so that the API, right, the platform that we have at our state integrated operation center will be connected to the system, and we can pull the data from the various agency or the systems. That's how we move into to avoid or to reduce the data siloness in the state. Of course, there is a sensitive data, non-sensitive data. Of course, we have to filter it first before it can be shared to the public.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. And then I think so far this is the last question from participants before we may end this session for this morning. This morning. Now we actually all the information, all the technologies available everywhere, but it is actually, we're supposed to understand that we should not celebrate the technology that we have, but it is more about to see and understand how we integrate it into our work process and so on. So what is your opinion looking at the trend of monetizing all these kind of application and understanding that we have? What do you think that especially the civil service sector should do and should change within themselves in order to be able to catch up with this pace?
Okay. Information is available freely actually around us, right? But for these civil servants, they must equip themselves with the knowledge of what they are doing, all right? And then the system is not to replace them, right? To add another or to increase the value of being a civil servant, right? That's why in the state establishment, we have what we call digital government committee, right? This committee will look into what the needs of the agency, right? How the data or how this system can enhance the quality of these civil servants, right? And to avoid what we call to integrate this system, all right, we need civil servant to think way forward of doing things, be it innovative or what we call is disruptive manner, all right. That's why we have a KIK, okay, they promote the innovation, and we also have a yearly award from SMA, value around 5,000 ringgit for the most innovative in digital technology. All right, we promote and we welcome agency or even the unit in the agency to come and approach us and discuss what will be the best digital innovation that can enhance the quality of works from that agency or unit. This is our pledge to our civil servant.
Okay, thank you, Doctor. It seems like more question coming. You have to bear with this. Okay. Okay, seems like they're really eager to know more about this. Okay, this is the question from another participant. Are there any plans to integrate Sarawak ID with the national ID so that we can use both federal and government services with single ID?
Okay, all right. Actually, when we embark into a Sarawak ID, people questioning us, what is Sarawak ID? All right. What we plan is to have a single sign-on ID. All right, whereby you can use this ID for any services offered by state government. But we must get the verification from this ID. If, for example, the register for this ID and giving us the IC number. How to verify the IC number if we are not connected to JPN? We have to connect to JPN, Jabatan Pendaftaran Negara or National ID Department. All right. So we have a verification, and we move into eKYC, whereby we match the photo in your IC with the live capture, all right, of your photo. All right. Of course, and after that, after 2 years on the road, all right, the federal government initiated this national ID. All right. Of course, the ID itself, it belongs to this federal, not Sarawak government. In future, what we can say, we also have given them our say or input what would be the national ID, right? The Sarawak ID later on will become the subset of the national ID. That is our intention. We don't have to register another ID for the national ID, but we can discuss in how to get more than 600 Sarawak ID registered into this national ID initiative. Right? Then we have contributed a lot in the national ID. Right? Of course, the MCMC is a lead agency into this. We discuss with them what is the best approach to get the people to use or register national ID. Part of the national ID or Sarawak ID is to connect with this social media, right? So if we have this national ID or verified ID connected to social media, you won't do anything illegal, right? You don't blame, curse people, accuse people, or issue fake news or whatever, because people will know who actually caused or become originator of this fake news.
Okay, I think that answer actually lead us to the next question, actually, which is something that also always pop up in my mind every time we are talking about the data integration. There is one participant asking, just would like to know whether our private data of the citizen will be compromised since the initiatives involve private data of individual.
Yeah. Okay. All right. The Sarawak ID, of course, the data that we captured through our system is belong to a government. All right. Belong to yourself. Of course, it's our duty to secure the data. All right. But the system without a secure mechanism is a useless system. All right. People will not use it. All right. That's why the first thing that we put to the people, Sarawak ID is secure, right? Because we have certification in ISO 27001, right? That we store the data, and even myself, right, as a part of a data controller in the state, I don't have access to this data, right? The thing here is we want to enhance the security of the system and also the data. Like in Estonia, there's one case. The policeman access the data, right? And then this citizen, when he realized the policeman access the data, he makes complaint, police report. And then that policeman has been sentenced to 2 years jail if I'm mistaken, right? And then, apart from the secured ID, right, we are into this blockchain, right? And then another implementation or initiative in Sarawak ID is every time the other system is not in your ecosystem, try to access your data, right? They will notify you. Okay, this system, for example, system A, trying to access your name, right? Or IC. The system, the platform itself will notify you, do you allow this system to access your data? Or whoever want to access the data, you must get notification. It's how we secure the data in the state. Well, I have that one reveal our strategy.
Yeah, hopefully that is kind of something that motivates us to when we know that we are working towards that. So at least I think it makes us feel maybe a bit secure with it. Okay, but this is one more thing that might be interesting. Yes, someone asking about, they're quite worried about the digital gap between rural area and the urban. Talking about the capacity and the coverage, especially for the rural area. Any kind of something that you can share about what next in the strategy itself?
Of course, as I said in my presentation, we try and work hard to implement more than 1,000 towers and of course equip with services. But because of the MCO, PKPP, whatever things that limit the workers' movement here and there, we also have another initiative that using the VSAT, okay, satellite, right? We have a 200 satellite, right? Not 200 satellite, 200 VSAT terminal that to be deployed to various rural areas, all right? And we also have the fixed wireless access that will cover more than 45,000 houses in 150 sites, right, in rural area also, right? And we also have this one will be announced later, all right, by federal, I think, right? to install more VSAT to the rural areas. All right. What we are focusing, of course, we cannot get this thing just overnight. Esok terjadi. No, of course, we have been asked and we have been advised to practice transparent procurement, right? We cannot just simply ask people, okay, you do this and we pay. No, the government is not working like that. We have to have established our committee, technical committee, procurement, and so on, and then we issue this open tender. Otherwise, we will be accused of favoring certain parties, right? So this is what we have in plan, and then we will execute it in near future. And we also have this digital community center, all right? And this already approved, and we have launched actually 12 sites of DCC, which we improve the outlook of our rural libraries. Of course, we will expand it. As I said, we have to do the procurement. We have to. This is a part of the government, and with the MCO, we cannot move freely, go to the rural area and to implement it. But I believe that my team will push harder to implement this. Of course, I have also to work harder from yesterday.
Okay, that's great to hear that, because it seems like at least we know that we are currently working towards that. And I think in terms of timeline, maybe we would say by 2030, the vision of developed state, developed nation that we are looking forward. That is our timeline, is it, Dr.?
Yeah, with our current leadership, with a visionary leadership, with this plan or initiative that we put up in our books, in our daily tasks, I believe that by 2030, we will be far ahead from Semenanjung. Right. This is what I believe, because now our leaders keep pushing for more initiative that promote knowledge, all right, promote the importance of having the knowledge, and then also in getting the people to use the technology. I believe in 2030, with the vision, the plan, whatever we put in place now, in another 8 years or 9 years to go, right? I'm sure we can achieve the most developed state in Malaysia.
Yeah, hopefully everything is workable, and during the time, I hope that we will see there's no more question about digital gap between rural versus urban area in Sarawak. Everything will be look the same. Doctor, I think you are quite popular this morning. Okay. Thank you very much for the participant. It shows that everybody is interested with our topic today. Doctor, this is one thing which is very interesting. I think one participant asked that they want to know, since you mentioned just now about one of the SMA's initiatives collected facial recognition data. In what way will we utilize this data, especially for the future digital initiatives?
Of course, the CCTV implementation is to promote or provide safer environment for us. Okay, those who are not criminal, you don't have to afraid. You don't have to scare. Right? Right. Those who do this vandalism, vandalize thing, then you have to be worried lah. All right. So this face recognition, of course, if there's some serious cases, all right. Now we partner with police, all right, police department. Of course, if we want to recognize them, there must be some strict SOP, all right. You cannot just okay. Somebody call, can you find my husband? No, no. No, it cannot be that. Strict regulation whereby agency have to put forward the application to us, and then there is a way to approve why you have to recognize this person or this plate number of the car or something like that, right? You cannot just, I mean, any leader or any government officer can ask us, can you recognize the person or not? No, 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 no. It's not like that. It's we have a very strict SOP before we can allow the recognition of these people.
Okay. Okay, that makes sense. I think if we don't have any problem of security, we don't create trouble. So why should we worry of that? But of course, the main benefit is more about the society well-being rather than individual worriness that should us at that sense. Okay. I hope that this is the last question, Doctor. All right. What are the measures taken to ensure that Sarawak ID application and website comply to W3C standards and the WCAG 2.1 standards? I think this is more a technical question from, I believe must be someone who is very much involved with the ICT department as well.
I have to refer back what the standard is. Okay, of course, any standard they put up to secure these assets, all right? We follow strictly, for example, that nobody will have the access to this data, all right, except like if you have a request yourself, all right, then we have to verify your, like for example, it's similar like a bank, right? Similar like a bank, whereby we will call you, we will ask your mother's name, we ask your IC number, we ask your phone or whatever thing to verify your complaint and so on. Okay, as I said, as a storage itself, all right, we have a audit trail implementation, right? As a user end, all right, if anybody access your data, you will be notified. This is our intention to get this Sarawak ID secure, all right? At the administrator end, all right, at the back end of the system, if you log in and access to other unauthorized level, is what we call the internal hacking, the system will notify your supervisor. Right? Even as I said that, if you have the access to the internal, the user will get notified. This is what we design in the Sarawak ID. Right? The system, the ID itself, if it cannot ensure the security, people will not use it. Right? Like for example, if you want to log into Google, right? gmail.com, how sure you are Google will not disclose the data to anybody? Right? You never get notification from Google that saying that their system access the data. No. But you still want to use it.
Have to use it at some point.
But as a government, we want to ensure the security of your data. Okay? That is my pledge.
So that is like at the on the developer side, basically apart from the standard itself, we should, of course, we believe that we have the preventive and corrective action that can be taken if anything goes wrong, and at the same time, maybe individually, we ourselves as the user, we have to practice some kind of precaution measures that should help us at some point to make us feel a bit better when we are being part of the transformation itself. Doctor, I think so far, Alhamdulillah, seems like all the questions are being forwarded to you, and I think I'm very much happy with this session. It seems like everybody quite interested to know more and more about our topic, and hopefully this will be it will be the first, and maybe we will have more sessions with you. And I think as for now, it seems like there will be our the wrap up for our session. Maybe if any concluding remarks, a brief one from your side.
Okay, just a very simple thing. I would like to get all our colleagues from other agency, my agency as well, to think in the disruptive manner. Right? Of course, we bound to general order, we bound to ordinance. There's a ways of doing things in a better way, a better technique. Right? For our own state, okay, to make our state will be proud of us. Right? This is my Jaga Sarawak into Sarawak message.
Thank you very much, Doctor. That's inspiring. Nice to know that we are in the transformation, and in the transformation era, and then it is not so much about what are the transformation that actually occurred around us. It's more about how we actually transform ourselves within the process. So thank you very much, and thank you also for all the participants. We appreciate your presence, and hope that we will meet again. By that, that's the end of our session today. Again, thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.